Hey everyone, it's August 23rd, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with serial killer Rodney Alcala, known as the dating game killer, who murdered at least 5, but perhaps as many as 100 victims in the 1970s, and that is him all the way over there. Born in Texas in 1943, Alcala's father moved the family to Mexico when he was 8, then abandoned them 3 years later. His mother moved with Alcala and his 2 sisters to Southern California, spending his adolescence in East LA and attending Montebello High School, which is about 2 miles from where I'm filming this right now, and is also where Twisted Sister filmed their video for I Wanna Rock. He served in the Army in the early 1960s, but was disciplined for assaulting young women and was diagnosed with a personality disorder. Alcala was discharged after going AWOL from Fort Liberty, then known as Fort Bragg, and hitchhiking across the country to his mother's house in 1964. Known as a highly intelligent person, he soon graduated from the UCLA School of Fine Arts. His first known crime was in 1968 when he lured an 8-year-old girl to his apartment in Los Angeles. A neighbor saw her enter and called the police. When they arrived, they found that she was still alive but had been sexually abused and beaten with a steel bar, and Alcala had already fled the scene. The girl remained in a coma for 32 days. Another victim from that time period came forward in 2021 to reveal that she had been sexually assaulted at the age of 16 when he picked her up at a teen nightclub and said he would drive her to IHOP. Alcala left town and enrolled at NYU under an assumed name to study film under future child rapist Roman Polanski. He found work as a summer camp counselor in New Hampshire, but was recognized from an FBI 10 Most Wanted poster in 1971 and was apprehended for abducting the girl 3 years earlier. His victim's family had relocated to Mexico, however, so without their key witness, prosecutors were only able to get a conviction for child molestation, with Alcala sentenced to 34 months in prison, being paroled after just 17. Less than 2 months after his release, he was picked up for assaulting a 13-year-old girl after giving her marijuana, which led to him being locked up for 2 more years. Upon his release in 1977, he was hired as a typesetter at the LA Times during their coverage of the Hillside Strangler murders and was interviewed by police as a person of interest in that case. He began convincing young women that he was an aspiring photographer, getting them to allow him to take photos with him for his portfolio. In 1978, Alcala appeared on The Dating Game, winning a date as Bachelor Number 1. You can find that show on YouTube. It is now known that he had already killed at least 2 women by this point, and luckily for his date, she got creeped out after the show and never went out with him. In 1979, the body of a 12-year-old girl was found in the hills of Los Angeles, and police later found her belongings in a storage locker up in Seattle belonging to Alcala. He was convicted of this murder and sentenced to death in 1980, but legal appeals led to it being overturned until he was convicted again in 1986. This was again overturned on appeal in 2001, but in 2003, DNA evidence was applied to cold cases, and authorities learned just how evil Alcala was. He was definitively tied to 5 murders and was convicted of those crimes in 2010 while representing himself in court. It is now believed that he's responsible for as many as 100 unsolved murders in the late 70s, with some in New York and multiple other states in addition to the ones in California. Alcala died in 2021 while awaiting his fate on death row. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so I can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Rodney Alcala, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.
Stand up and tell the class, what do you